Hello, 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 my beautiful Bravo and Real Housewives lovers. What's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that y'all are here with me today. I know what you're thinking. Where have you been? It's been a minute since we've sat down and talked about some Real Housewives, but I'm back. I'm ready to go. But before we get into reviewing this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, I have got some really exciting news to share with all of you. It has come to my attention that I have been featured in an article on Screen Rant, the 10 best reality recap shows to watch about The Real Housewives. I have been featured as number 8 on this top 10 list. And I'm gonna read you what they said. I'll include a link in the description below so you can go check it out. They said, Kyle Steven isn't only focused on recapping Housewives. According to the bio on his YouTube channel, he aims to build a community of pop culture lovers through his channel. That enthusiasm for pop culture and reality TV is evident in his recaps, where he breaks down the action in a way that makes his subscribers feel like they're talking to a friend. I am shook to the core. If anyone from Screen Rant is watching this, thank you so much. I'm lost for words. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, who has made this happen. I love y'all so much. So we got that all out of the way. Let's talk about this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. In the past 2 weeks, I do want to talk about some things real quickly. We had Kyle's election party, and her and Dorit had some exchanging of words and some drama that I literally had no idea about. Apparently in the van in Tahoe, Dorit interrupted Kyle when she was trying to share a story, which then caused epic beef between the both of them. They sat down together at this election party, and Kyle is all, "Don't you ever speak to me that way again." It just seemed a little out of nowhere and a little forced. Do they really have drama, or is it just kind of like making it up? I'm not sure. So that happened. Then we finally got to dig in deep with the whole Erica and her divorce situation. A lot has been happening, so let's pick up with last week. So we open up this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with a little montage of all of the ladies. Kyle and Crystal are doing a toy event for the Children's Hospital. Dorit and PK, they are catching up. PK's going to London for 2 weeks, and he wants a 8-foot cutout of Dorit in a bikini. Awkward. Okay then. What else? Rina is doing a promo shoot for Project Angel Food. So we have a quick little montage with all of those ladies. Now let's move over and talk about Sutton and Erica. They are driving around in Sutton's new Bentley. So Sutton, she said that she's going through a midlife divorcee crisis, hence the Bentley and the new house. You know what? Through this whole thing with Sutton and Crystal, I'm going to try something different. I'm team both of them. I think at this point, they're both equally wrong with their beef, and I wish that they could just figure it out. But we'll get to that later in this review. So Erica and Sutton drive by one of those tourist buses, and someone on that bus screams, "Don't divorce your husband."
That's how God.
Y'all, deceased. So Sutton, she is taking Erica to the spa for a day for some R&R. Sutton rented out the entire spa place for the day so Sutton and Erica can enjoy the day mask free. I mean, smart idea in theory. She even did that when she and Garcelle went shopping for Bentleys. Sutton rented out the whole showroom so Garcelle and Sutton could shop for cars mask free. Do your thing, girl. do your thing. Whatever makes you comfortable. I think that's where we're at right now. You kind of just have to do whatever makes you comfortable. Sutton is trying to be there for Erica and support her through the whole divorce. Now, I thought that I read that Sutton was going to be the only one who was really holding Erica's feet to the fire. And I guess we need to wait until the second half of the season to watch that unfold, because right now it kind of appears that Sutton is really being a supportive friend to Erica. She even got Erica a little comfort package, a divorce comfort package, and it included potato chips, toffee, essential oils, candy, cookies, and a bottle of champagne. A whole divorce kit. So I guess the whole issue with Sutton and Erica, it's gonna start to come and heat up when the whole lawsuit and stealing money from plane victims comes up. I think that's when we're gonna see Sutton make a turn and change her tune towards Erica, because right now they're like buddy-buddy. She's being a supportive friend, being there for her, and being Erica's rock through Erica's divorce from Tom. Sutton, though, she's really digging in and asking Erica how she's dealing with this whole divorce. Erica said that she has moments where she feels good and moments where she feels lost. Her and Tom, she said, aren't even speaking. She said, what is there to even say? I'm sure he's really mad at me. She said Tom is very possessive and won't just roll over and take it. And her exact quote was, I believe, he's not going to just roll over and take it and say, oh, honey, here's your small fortune. Well, no, there is no small fortune because the bank has run dry. There's no coins in that bank account, so sorry, Erica, you ain't getting shit. There's nothing coming for you. Erica says that Tom is very mean and dismissive, which I personally, through watching all of the seasons of Erica, didn't get that at all. So let's just roll some unseen footage.
You have all this confidence. You have great looks.
Great intellect.
Excuse me, Erica. This is me talking, not you.
So now let's move over and talk about Crystal. She's over here kickboxing like the true badass that she is. She's really opening up with raw things going on in her life. In the episode 2 weeks ago at Kyle's election party, Crystal opens up about her battle with an eating disorder and saying that she was bulimic, she struggled with body image after her pregnancy. So she's really opening up to all of these ladies and really letting them in on a very deep level, which I appreciate and I like to see. Like, finally, it just seems as if everyone is willing to be real and raw and not really hide anything, which is a breath of fresh air compared to last season of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, I'm loving this season so freaking much. It's really good. So now let's move over and talk about Erica and Sutton again, back over at the spa. They are doing cryotherapy, which I've always wanted to try that out, but the extreme cold kind of freaks me out, but I'm willing to give it a try. After the whole extreme Cairo experience, Sutton and Erica, they then hit the sauna. Sutton is still asking all of the burning questions about Tom and Erica and the divorce, and she asks Erica if she's mad at Tom for not going and seeing her on Broadway in New York when Erica was in Chicago.
Okay, I have to ask.
Go ahead.
Are you mad at him for not coming to see you in New York for Chicago?
Yeah.
Erica then goes on to say, your wife that you've supported and funded.
Your wife that you have supported and funded.
Funded. Oh, girl, bye. Like, I'm going to insert something really quick right now. I don't know if y'all have watched Housewife and the Hustler. If you haven't watched it, it's on Hulu, and it really changes everything with this whole Erica and Tom. Comment below if you want me to do a little recap of that whole thing. I watched it, my mind was blown. It's completely insane. And it really just changes my whole tune about Erica and Tom. It's sick, it's gross. And it's just almost as if there's no way that Erica couldn't have known about what was going on within the legal issues and all of that. Like, the fact that she said Tom funded her, girl, bye. Erica is so angry. Like, she is so angry. And during the reunion last year, she even defended Tom for not coming and gave reasons as to why he didn't show up to see her on Broadway, saying, well, he was planning to go see me at the end of the show, but then COVID hit and he wasn't able to, blah, 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 blah. So that's the excuse that she gave. So here is what. Here's my personal opinions about this whole thing. So she either is putting up a really good front and there really were some deep-rooted issues in the marriage that she has kept hidden and didn't talk about during all of her seasons on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Or she's faking this whole thing and is a total bullshitter, making herself seem like the total victim because she knows exactly what's going on with all of the legal issues and she's trying to jump ship as fast as she can. It's one of those two. There's nothing else. There's no in between here. It's either she definitely had marriage issues that she kept from us, or she really knew and she's just trying to jump ship. There's no other way to paint it, guys. There just really isn't. So now let's move over and check in on Miss Garcelle. She is busy co-hosting The Real, being a single mom, trying to date, and just all around being a true girl boss. I do love that we are seeing a lot more of Garcelle this season because last year we barely saw her. And I know that she was so busy filming Coming to America 2, and she really didn't have time to film The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So this year we are seeing a lot more of her, which is really nice to see. And we also find out that Garcelle's goldfish, Kyle, died dead.
For a goldfish, Kyle lived a long life. God rest her soul.
Let's just have a moment of silence for Kyle the goldfish. So stupid. Garcelle, she's also talking to her boys about wanting to date again, and they are not on board, and they don't want her to date, and they don't want her to get married. I mean, it's fair. I get it. But I will say I love the whole family unit that Garcelle has going on. It's really nice to see. They all get along. She loves her boys so much, and they're very protective over their mother. So now we're moving over and checking in on Erica and Rina. Erica picks Rina up in her, wait for it, guys, her new Range Rover. I literally just can't. So Erica went out and bought a brand new Range Rover, and she said, oh, I've never had a Range Rover before. Range Rovers go for like $89,000. Where are you getting that money from, girl? So Rina and Erica are catching up. Erica said that she was with Garcelle the other night, and Garcelle wanted to talk about some gossip that she heard. So Garcelle said that she heard from a sales associate that this sales associate saw Tom with a 60-something-year-old blonde woman. They were having dinner together. And Erica said that this isn't the first time that she heard this rumor floating around. She doesn't really think it's true, but she has heard it before. Side note though, Bravo Editing is really showcasing this Range Rover. Those feds are eating all of this up. Seriously. So Erica is also filling Rina in on all of the rumors that are floating around. That Erica is dating Scooter Braun. She's seeing her dancing with the Stars partner Gleb. Erica says that all of these rumors are silly as fuck, and that if she gave a shit, she would sue, but she has so many other things going on. Yeah, like trying to run from prison and a lawsuit because you were stealing money from plane victims. Well, your husband was, and you knew about it, and you were taking the money. There, I said it. Where's the lie? Where's the lie, people? So then Lisa Rinna fills Erica in on her daughter, Amelia. And Amelia is dating Scott Disick. And y'all, I'm kind of living and dying for this Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills crossover, because I am obsessed with the Kardashians. That is an interesting fact about myself. I love the Kardashians. Say what you want about them, but they're amazing. Just saying. So Lisa then mentioned something that really struck a chord with me, and it was just a little bizarre. She said that because Amelia is now dating Scott, that's the new headline, and now no one is talking about her eating disorder. She said, and I quote, "Thank God, this just gives her another new label to deal with." And when she said that, it just made me cringe. Like, why are you kind of exploiting your daughter like that? Just me? Am I the only one that found that whole thing weird? It was just weird. Like, some things are just better left unsaid, and that was one of those things that just shouldn't have ever been said. But, you know, in true Lisa Rinna fashion, zero filter, let's get into some Christmas spirit and shop for some Christmas decorations. It's Christmas in July, y'all.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
Erica is shopping for her new tiny house. That is right. Erica has moved out of the big mansion and she's in a very conservative house now. That's a good way to put it, right? She lives in a tiny house. Gina would be very happy about that. Now Gina has some competition. Whose tiny house is better? Gina's or Erica's? There, I said it. So now let's move over and check in on Kyle. She's having a little family dinner, and I can't believe how grown up Porsha is. Like, she is a little adult now. It is so wild. I remember when Porsha was just this little girl, and now she's like a teenager almost. It's completely crazy how these kids just grow up in front of our eyes. But we gotta talk about it, y'all. We've gotta talk about the freak out from Porsha when her sister Sophia surprised her and came home from college.
Oh my God!
Who is that? Who's that? Who is that?
I can't breathe!
I would like everyone to react that way every time I enter a room. Please, thank you, love it so much. I want that reaction. It's a real confidence booster, if you will. And also, let's talk about Dorit and the self-portrait. I'm here for it. It's a level of vain that I can relate to and appreciate. So now it's time for all of the ladies to get glammed up because Kyle is hosting a party at the Huntley on the rooftop terrace. So everyone is getting all glammed up and ready to go have a nice dinner. It's not going to be very nice. Just wait for it. But what in God's green earth is Sutton wearing? Like, what is that bow tie? You look like a damn present. I have so many questions about that outfit, Sutton. Erica then says that all she's been eating is steaks. She says she has steaks for lunch, steaks for breakfast. She ordered a steak for the dinner. Like, girl, steaks are expensive. Where are you getting all of this money? You should be eating ramen noodles. Save your pennies, girlfriend, because trust and believe, You're gonna need them. So here's an oxymoron. Kyle and Sutton are in the car on their way to dinner together, and Sutton says that Crystal needs to laugh off their issues and get a sense of humor and let some things go. Girl, you got your panties in a bunch because you were not included in a practical joke about water. What a weird oxymoron, double standard, take your own advice, let the mouse go. So at dinner, everyone is hanging out, and all the ladies, they've got a lot of opinions about Lisa's daughter Amelia dating Scott Disick. Lisa asked if she needs to call him the Lord, and Kathy says yes. Yes, you do, and do a little curtsy while you're at it. I love Kathy. And then Kyle says, he's too damn old. And I wonder if Kris Jenner is going to be making some phone calls regarding this week's episode and all the shit they're talking about Scott Disick and Courtney. I think someone's going to be getting a phone call from Miss Kris Jenner. There, I said it. So now it's time for a classic Kathy Hilton moment. Mazel tov does not mean Merry Christmas. I just can't with her.
Mazel tov or no?
Well,
No.
Isn't that Merry Christmas? I felt like
What does Mazel Tov mean to you?
Happy celebration, good luck, Merry Christmas.
So then at the dinner, Garcelle is opening up about her older son, Oliver, and that he dealt with addiction. And I didn't realize that she had an older son. And I now remember that she did talk about it last season, but I totally forgot. So she's talking about how he overcame addiction and he was able to get clean, and he met someone who had multiple kids and ended up having a child with this woman. You know, I had no idea that also Garcelle was a grandmother. Who knew? So the point of this story was you can't judge a book by its cover, and Lisa could end up being a grandmother of 3 if things start to get really serious with Amelia and Scott Disick. Could you imagine that weird, intertwined Housewives, Kardashians worlds colliding? Like, I can't, mind blown. Make it happen. It probably isn't going to happen, but let's make it happen. So, over dinner, Sutton gets Garcelle to share that Garcelle has 3 boyfriends. That's one way to jump into the dating pool, guys. Garcelle is currently on Bumble, and she's texting with 3 different guys. And then Kathy calls Sutton a Thomasita.
Oh, that was cute, Thomasina.
Isn't that right? Tell us what Thomasina means.
Thomasina's a peeping Tom.
Which means peeping Tom, regarding Sutton walking in on Crystal naked. We're going to do a little bit of rapid fire about what happened during this dinner, so buckle up, here we go. Now we're talking about the whole naked thing and how Crystal felt violated. The other ladies are taking the word violated by meaning something sexual, or Crystal in some way was physically harmed. And now let's have a Bravo producer shady moment, and let's show all 5 of the definitions of the word violation. We're getting real specific with the word violation here. Where's Jackie, Miss Merriam-Webster, when you need her? I do personally feel at this point we need to let this whole thing go. Kathy Hilton walked in on Sutton naked, fan pillow and all the ladies are really siding with Sutton regarding feeling violated. I'm really gonna side with Dorit though. I'm not gonna take Sutton's side. I'm not gonna take Crystal's side, because I personally feel like they're both kind of in the wrong. So I'm gonna go in the middle and I'm gonna side with Dorit.
Oh my God.
We're talking about such insignificant things. Let's just bury the hatchet so the group can move on.
Here's what though, at the end of the day, Crystal is entitled to have her own feelings about the situation, and we can't take those feelings away from her. However, it wasn't anything really weird that happened. Sutton is upset because it's making Sutton seem like she's a weird, creepy, peeping Tom making sexual advances about people when they're vulnerable. And here's what I think happened. Here's my personal opinion about this whole thing. Sutton knocked on Crystal's door, walked in because she heard Crystal talking. Crystal was naked. It was awkward. She, as in Sutton, was all, ooh, I don't know what's going on in here, but here's your coat. I don't know what you're doing. Because I also felt like Sutton might have been uncomfortable about what she walked in on and tried to, like, be funny about it. And then it just rubbed Crystal the wrong way. Crystal found it weird because her and Sutton weren't even in a good place at all to begin with. So, I mean, they're still not in a good place, but that's where I kind of feel like it's coming from. Crystal was weirded out because she wasn't even getting along with Sutton to begin with, and then Sutton saw her naked, and the whole thing just kind of like snowballed. So now Sutton is all, now I'm getting angry, and you don't want to get me angry. Or what? What are you going to do, Sutton? What are you going to do? I just feel like this whole fight is really escalating to a level that's just so insignificant now. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of living for it because it really does make for good TV. There, I said it. But hold on for a second, this moment.
Oh, I don't know what you're doing over there.
Did I say it like that?
Mr. Poppins.
No.
Who's Mr. Poppins?
I don't know.
Who is Mr. Poppins?
It was the, who's Mr. Poppins from Kathy that did me in. Like, I love Kathy because she really just cuts the tension with some good comedic relief. Just saying. So Crystal finally admits that she didn't think Sutton came in her room in a weird, sexual, malicious, I'm gonna harm you type of way. However, Crystal shared the story earlier on that painted it to seem like Sutton went out of her way to harm Crystal. But that wasn't the case. So Crystal told two different versions of the story, and it's just a whole thing. And I think we need to let the whole thing go. Let the mouse go. So then Kathy comes in as the voice of reason to diffuse the situation in order to salvage what is left of the dinner. She then calls Dorit her buddy English girl.
And my buddy over here, English girl. And
I'm not English.
And I,
I'm from Connecticut, goddammit.
And
Dorit, the British girl, yes.
I'm not
yes.
English. My husband is English.
She's from Connecticut.
Whatever.
And Dorit is not English. Dorit is from Connecticut with an unknown accent. There, I'm just saying what we're all thinking. What is Dorit's accent? Does anybody know? Because I sure in the hell do not know. So at the end of the day, this whole thing with Crystal and Sutton, I think it turned into a big game of telephone. And it didn't end well, and there were all different versions of what actually happened floating around, and it all came to a head at this dinner. So hopefully we can kind of move forward from all of this. Newsflash, we won't. But y'all, next week is the moment. The moment. I'm jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants? And I am here for it. I do think the mid-season trailer is going to be coming very soon, so stay tuned for my reaction to the mid-season trailer. There's definitely going to be a lot more Erica drama coming, and I'm personally loving this season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Go ahead and comment your thoughts about how we're feeling about The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. What do you think of the season so far? What did you think of this week's episode? Let me know in the comment section below. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it airs every Wednesday at 8 o'clock on Bravo. That's all I've got for you guys today. Don't be assholes, and we'll chat soon. Bye.